secrets of the Andes and El Dorado, which the scientific world is afraid of. Was the Earth formed only a few hundred years ago? Is the question. Many researchers of the mysteries of our planet pay attention to the strangest of the maps of South America until the 18th century, since they do not have the northern part of the Andes mountain range, Copper Mountains translated from the Inca language. Claims for the old map inaccuracy are not applicable in this case due to the presence of the southern Andes at the time, along with the correct imaging of the cities of the present-day Peru and Ecuador, located not at all in the mountains as they are now, but on flat terrain. This is also evidenced by the notes of the insidious conqueror of the Incas, the conquistador Francisco Pizarro, who, approaching their capital, the city of Cusco, left the jungle in 1533. Now the city is located at an altitude of 3,400 meters above sea level, where of course there can no longer be tropical and equatorial forests. The situation is even clearer with the Inca city of Potosi, which has already risen to the height of 4 kilometers, since there is a drawing of the city from 1715 depicting palm trees that do not grow so high and the silver mountain with the castle structure on top. Moreover, according to the current photo of the city, it can be seen that immediately behind the castle hill, an even larger mountain appeared, and the city is clearly elevated by this eastern part of it. In addition, the conquistadors, who admired the roads of the Incas, on which, interestingly, they allegedly had nothing to ride, wrote that 4 main routes came out of Cusco with the name of the part of the empire where they led. Now, on the diagram of the Inca roads given here, they are clearly interrupted in the eastern right on the map direction. It goes without saying that the Incas would not have thought of to build the capital and the roads to it at sky-high heights, when the east of the Andes is still full of free lowland. The science used explains the formation of mountains by the unilateral uplift of the continental plate due to the movement of oceanic plates. In relation to the northern part of the Andes, this interpretation clearly does not work, since the coastline of the western part of South America, directly at the ocean, is almost free of mountains. The rise of the city of Potosi was clearly due to the movement of mountain ranges from the continental eastern side. This is just the consideration of this movement of mountain ranges that the science used is afraid of, and after all, it considers only what it sees: volcanic activity and the formation of mountains only from below, not even allowing their simultaneous formation from above. Moving mountains are indisputable proof of their upper or shell origin. Even the geographical representation of the northern Peruvian Bolivian Andes on maps is in the form of a strip along the coast with peaks of more than 6 kilometers. This indicates their formation due to the bilateral compression of continental plates. Therefore, the Andes are squeezed on both sides by the western and eastern Cordillera, translated from Spanish as mountain ranges. This could happen only when twisting or something like shrinking the globe itself. Specialists claim the opposite about some current expansion of the planet based on the registration and the removal of the continents of America and Africa from each other, which does not at all contradict the compression of the planet, since it is not a perfect ball but a geoid. And indeed, how can one admit the absurdness of huge animals living in the past on a smaller planet? It was the bilateral convergence of continental shell plates that first made the bay of the current Peruvian-Chilean coast a lake, and then raised it to a height of 3.8 kilometers, which is clear from the compression of the 17th century maps with the current view of the lake, in which marine fauna and a slightly salinity of water remained. In a similar way, the bay in Italy was also raised during turning into Lake Nemi, where Caligula's sunken ships were found. The current scientific perception, which does not fit the history of the Earth from tens of thousands and not from some millions and billions of years, seriously believes that Caligula built huge ships inside relatively small lakes. Thus, could Lake Titicaca rise only about 300 years ago? The current geological science insists that even this event, a statute of 100 million years, and due to its paradigm of accepting as a fact only what can be felt and seen, cannot fit into the understanding of the shell evolution of the Earth, and therefore is unable to explain the formation of the Table Mountains, with Mount Ayyan Tepui on the site of a once large Lake Parim. Stories about semi-mythical land of El Dorado are also connected with this disappearing lake. In the legends of the Inca people about El Dorado, it's said that the untold riches of the city were so great that they decorated houses with gold and laid out roads. Its inhabitants did not need anything, not being aware of hunger and poverty. The conquistadors were never able to find this city, since it was located on the then still preserved massifs of the upper earth, hanging with their arches just above Lake Parim. The complete subsidence of the upper geological layers, supported until then by the separate gravitational field of the upper earth, closed the lake and formed the Guiana Plateau. It turns out that the Table Mountain hide the secret of El Dorado. The striking effect of waterfalls from the Table Mountains with a height of about 3 kilometers is explained by the flow to them of the waters of Lake Parima, displaced by the settled massif of the upper earth and hidden under it. For the current scientific perception, the Angel Falls, the waterfall, the highest in the world, with a continuous fall of 807 meters, is simply an inexplicable miracle. The flat appearance of the Table Mountains of Tepui is explained precisely by their upper origin as a kind of a fragment of the upper continent. The formation of the Sahara also took place around the same time, suggesting a single very recent process of completing the formation of the Earth. And this is on Solask. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.